After the district attorney lied to get a murder suspect to surrender, the suspect wasn't the only one with a case on the court's docket. In re Pautler. William Neal murdered 3 women and raped a 4th, identified as Jay. Then Neal took Jay to an apartment. There, he told Jay and her friends to call the police and page him when they arrived. Pagers were small devices that could display simple messages. Neal fled. At the apartment, Deputy Sheriff Moore paged Neal, and Neal called. He talked to Moore about his crimes, as police unsuccessfully tried to locate him. Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark Pautler was there. In addition to being an attorney, Pautler was a peace officer. Moore tried to convince Neal to surrender, but Neal wouldn't without legal representation. Pautler called Neal's previous attorney, but the number was disconnected. Pautler feared a public defender would tell Neal to stop talking. At Pautler's suggestion, Moore told Neal his public defender's name was Mark Palmer. Pautler pretended to be Palmer and spoke with Neal, who made demands that needed to be met before his surrender. When Neal said the police needed to guarantee that his lawyer would be present, Pautler replied, quote, "Right, I'll be present," unquote. Neal asked what his rights were. Pautler avoided answering. Neal surrendered. Pautler never tried to correct the misrepresentations. The real public defender assigned to Neal's case learned about the deception. Neal was convicted and sentenced to death. The Attorney Regulation Council charged Pautler with violating 2 of Colorado's rules of professional conduct, which related to deceit and dealing with unrepresented parties. During the proceedings, Pautler stated that if he were in the same situation again, he'd do the same thing, but let Neal's attorney know about the ruse sooner. The hearing board found that Pautler violated the rules and set sanctions, including a 3-month suspension. Pautler appealed to the Colorado Supreme Court.